Hi guys, Courtney here with Renewal Logistics, your favorite apparel focused 3PL. Wanted to share with you today 3 tips for apparel companies looking for a 3PL partnership. What should you be looking for? First tip is someone who can handle returns extremely well. So I've talked with you on some other videos in the past about what refurbishment looks like, but let me tell you a couple stories about why having a vendor who can do refurbishment is really helpful. I was talking to a client yesterday. They were telling me that, and this client is a very high-end evening gown company, and they have some very specific peaks during their year. One is wedding season, one is prom season, and then one is the holiday season. So let's talk about prom season. They are currently experiencing 50% returns. So that means that for every 2 items that are sold online, 1 is going to come back to them. So half of their stock that is sold online is going to come back to them in a return. Their current vendor is taking 10 days to process those returns. So think about what that means if you have stock and you have a very short window for a selling season, and all of a sudden your goods are tied up, 50% of your goods are tied up for 10 days. So the question then becomes, how much stock are they actually having to purchase that they wouldn't have to purchase if they were able to turn that around to a 1 or 2 day cycle? And then number 2, how much money are they losing in inventory and revenue because the items that they would have been able to sell during that very tight window were out of stock because they were still being processed for returns. So, that's one thing to think about when it comes to just the repackaging and reprocessing side. From a standpoint of refurbishment, this same company has about a $500 per item price point, and 5% of their stock at the end of the year comes back damaged from returns. So we did the math, and their average revenue that they were losing because of damaged goods, so stock that they purchased, but they weren't actually able to turn around and sell again, it was costing them over $1.25 million in revenue in 1 year. So just really having an option to be able to reclaim as much of those goods as possible to be able to turn back into first quality stock is huge. And again, like I had said before in other videos, not only does it matter if the item is first quality, so is it brand new, does it look brand new, but is the presentation also factory fresh and first quality? And so if not, they were telling me that, they've had customers who had complained that they'd get something and it looked like it had been worn before, or, they could tell that the way it was packaged that it wasn't brand new. So, you want to avoid that, especially if you have like a high quality image that's associated with your brand. You certainly don't want to have, a bad service reputation by sending out product that's not brand new. So returns are a huge thing. That's the first tip. Second thing is how omni-channel is the 3PL. So a lot of 3PLs really like doing B2C, which is, direct fulfillment for e-com. A lot of 3PLs like doing wholesale, but usually companies struggle to do both very, very well. And that's simply because, a lot of companies aren't set up to kind of have to pivot constantly. So companies are able to build a program. Every single client in that building follows that basic same program. The work gets pushed out, and they don't have very much to think about. In our business, we're a little different because of the fact that, we've been brought up by some of the largest global brands to do all of their omni-channel fulfillment. And so our whole purpose has been to support them to be able to allow for them to sell through as fast as possible and take advantage of opportunities. So if they see the product is being sold really, really fast right now in a store, and they only, brought so much over from the factory to be sold in a store, and the rest was e-com, we can help them package it really quickly so that it can be store ready, and vice versa. Let's say that they, see that there's a product that's just like snapped up and started really selling on one of their e-com channels. Maybe it was featured in a publication, or it was like, a good example, we had product that was on people.com and rollingstone.com, and we saw sales spike. So, for them being able to change packaging from things that were going to go to a store to product that can then be, packaging so that the product can be shipped e-com is super helpful. And so how omni-channel is your 3PL right now, and how well are they supporting you to be able to have the flexibility to really be able to maximize your sales in every single channel and take every single opportunity that comes to you and really maximize on it. So that's the third one is SKU management. So I've mentioned before, that there are just a tremendous amount of SKUs when it comes to working with apparel companies, and that's definitely something that a lot of 3PLs struggle with. And so you may see a 3PL that's like, yeah, sure, I can handle it. Look at me, I've got, a whole bunch of bins, and they each have a little SKU code on there. That's all there is to it. It's easy. Well, the next question then I would ask is, tell me about how you handle SKU affinity. So a good example, let's say that you are Dillard's and you're working with a influencer, and they've pulled together 5 different products into an outfit. Those 5 different products are probably all going to sell the same or sell relatively, you're going to see a SKU affinity. You're going to see a lot of those products sell together. And so is your current vendor, do they understand SKU affinity? And are they able to actually maximize on SKU affinity and consolidate some of the costs that would be associated with picking and packing orders for a scenario like that? So basically what you're looking for is an alignment from a marketing perspective and an operational perspective. So SKU affinity. The second thing is seasonality. So, if you have a product and you're selling through and you have, certain seasons, most 3PLs are going to have, a standard spot for every single SKU, and they're not going to be looking at your seasonality to say, okay, maybe we can decrease the number of SKUs that you need to have in pick locations and put these into a bulk storage situation to save you some money. So, just truly understanding apparel is critical, and understanding not just apparel itself, but understanding what it means for you to be a seller of apparel and how we can help you to maximize on your sales opportunities, maximize on your marketing campaigns, and ultimately, get the most value out of every single order that you're able to generate. But, if you ever have any questions and you want to talk, and I'm here. I'm always here to help. And if we're not the right partner for you, then I'll definitely help you find who the right partner would be. And if you like the video, please let me know, and like, subscribe, and share. Have a great day. Bye-bye.